Okay, so now from here, what I would do is if I wanted to be able to import something, I would go into the import options here. Now, you can import from a variety of different blogs. So if you use Blogger or LiveJournal, Movable Type, you can do that. But for me, I'm just going to go into the WordPress section. This is one change, right? So this is something that you need to be able to install. There's a new WordPress importer that they use to be able to get all of this information and bring all of this information into the site. So you want to make sure that you install this. Once you install this, that's the WordPress importer 0.02. Now you can go in here and you can activate and run the importer. This will automatically ask you, what do you want to be able to import? So I'm just going to go right into the desktop. I'm going to go to the site backup and I'm going to select the XML file that I want to be able to import. I'm going to click on Upload File and Import. Now, if it finds an author, it's going to try to be able to create a user for that, or you can map it to any type of author that you have set up. Now, here's the interesting part. If you have the option to be able to download and import file attachments, click on that. What's going to happen is that's going to go to whatever website you have it set up, and it's going to try to import those attachments manually. If you already have a copy of it, then what I would recommend is I would recommend for you to just go into your uploads directory and take the directory structure that you have in there and automatically place it inside of your uploads section inside of your new directory structure. So that's entirely up to you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to leave this unchecked because obviously I already have it in mind. I'm going to click on Submit. Notice that a lot of stuff already exists, so it doesn't do anything. But once it's done, you get the Have Fun section, you'll be fine. You might run into a snag every now and again when you're in the process of doing this. It'll kind of hang if you have a whole bunch of them. It'll just stop working. It'll be like a 9-line 200 and it won't do anything. A lot of the times what I tend to do is I tend to just kind of back up and I'll run the importer again, because what will happen is if it finds something that it already exists, it's just going to ignore it. So it'll ignore all of the other stuff that you've imported, and then when it gets to the stuff that's new, it goes, all right, well, let me go ahead and I'm going to do that over and over and over again, and it'll grab the new stuff. I find that on sites where I've had to import a lot of information, that's something that I would have to do a couple of times. So now this takes care of a lot of this stuff, but sometimes whenever you create a post, this is the one thing that I think is kind of like a secret weapon. Sometimes when you create a post, there'll be a time that you upload something to a directory on your site and you just come into the HTML and you type in img src equals quote http://www.oldsite.com/uploads. Let's just say that I'm just going to call this sample bad tag. So this is an image that sits in this website called oldsite.com/uploads, and I'm going to call it image.jpg. It doesn't exist. That's fine. It's not really the point. What will happen is sometimes you'll have something that looks like this on your actual post. And if you're turning off one site and turning on a new site, you want to be able to change this oldsite.com to newsite.com, or you want to be able to change this directory to another directory. If it's littered inside of your posts or inside of your pages, it's going to be very, very hard once you do that import, because you're going to see a whole bunch of broken tags. So what I would recommend to be able to deal with this is go into your plugins here, and you want to be able to find a new plugin. That plugin is called Search and Replace. And that's this one right here by Frank Buldiga. Sorry, Frank. Great plugin. I just don't want to mess up your name here. So I'm going to click on Install Now. I'm going to click OK. That's a great plugin for you to be able to use. Now, I activate this plugin, and you'll notice that under the Tools now you have an option called Search and Replace. Now, inside of here, you can search inside of all of this stuff. So you can search through all of these fields, and you can search for something and replace it with something. So let's just say that I'm going to go under the content of my post field. I want to be able to find http colon slash, let's see, http colon slash www.oldsite.com. I want to replace that with http colon slash www.newsite.com. Right? And I can specify a lot of other different places, but for now, since I put it into the content, that's where I'm going to be able to do that. All I have to do is click on go, and it'll go and it'll find it. It'll find the entries. And once it does that, you'll be good to go. That's it. Now, if I were to come back over here, and I were to go to my bad tag and edit that, you'll see that that information has been updated. So it's a great little plugin for you to be able to keep when you're merging from one site to another site, or you need to be able to do any kind of transfer. That's one of those that's kind of in my black book, always helps me with my problems. So there you have it, a couple of the new features of WordPress 3 that's getting me really, really excited, as well as a couple of tricks and techniques to be able to kind of move information around.